Hello, I am Nick Gonzalez. I am the School and Family Engagement Liaison for Outdoor School. This is my contact information, and I highly encourage everybody to either take a photo of it, screenshot, or find it on our website. I will be the point person for all things Outdoor School leading up until the trip. Minter Bridge is going to Magruder May 5th through 9th, and that is a Tuesday through Friday. They will be accompanied by W.L. Henry. So the two schools will be sharing that one site, but most things are going to be school specific in terms of field study, cabin groups, all the things that you would want to be separated are going to be separated. Only a few times where the two schools are going to mix throughout the trip, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. For now, once again, I am the point person, so that is my work phone number and my work email. So please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Cool. Skipping this video. Also, this slideshow can be found on our website if you're interested in having your own copy to go through a little bit later. For now, a little bit about our history. We actually started in 1969 and have been running continuously ever since. That does include those COVID years, so we were able to provide outdoor school online. Luckily, your students do not have to go through all of that fun, but they get to experience actually going out onto site with other schools and just with all their classmates. And then the other part I want to highlight is that in 2016, Measure 99 passed, making outdoor school mostly free for absolutely everybody. So that does include that packing list. So if you see something on there that you do not have and know you will not use later, please contact me or your school and we'll coordinate to make sure your student has access to that for their trip. We do work with over 10,000 students every single year, and how we do that is through our 5 sites, but we only have to focus on one, which is Magruder. That is the site that you will be going to this season, and you will be going there May 5th through 8th. That is a Tuesday through Friday, my bad, 5th through 8th. And that is over by Rockaway Beach, just like north of Tillamook, about 20-ish minutes north of Tillamook. Cool. So for the people that are actually looking after your students, we have the site supervisor. This is going to be the principal of outdoor school, the one that will eventually turn into your main contact once your student is on site. Then we have our nurse or nurses. We try our best to get 2 registered nurses out on site 24/7, but even if there's only one, they are still available 24/7 for your student and will be taught how to access them during the night if needed. And then we have our equity inclusion advocate. This person's entire job is to make sure that those IEPs, the 504s, the dietary restriction, and all of the other accommodations that you list on the health form have a game plan and are being followed. And then we have the field instructors. Those are the people who are in charge of teaching and educating all of our curriculum during the week. Then the program staff, those are the ones who are hanging out in the cabin area, making sure things are going smooth, making sure people actually have dry socks on, and just getting to and from places on time. And then skipping over a group, we have the clones. Some of your teachers will actually be out on site with your students. They are there the entire week with your students to be an extra friendly face, to be able to jump from group to group to make sure that they are able to help the students that need that extra hand during the week. And then the last group, the ones I skipped over, the student leaders. I skipped over them because I fully believe they are the backbone of our organization. We could not do what we do without them. We absolutely require their assistance because they put in a lot of work and are the ones sleeping in the cabins, the ones helping out on field study, doing all that hard work that in all reality, we couldn't pay adults enough money to do. Absolutely love them. Can't speak highly enough of this group. So for safety, every single staff member will have a radio on them, so we are not relying on cell phone coverage while we are out in the woods. We do rely on EMS, emergency systems like police, fire, ambulance, if that comes to. And then we do follow the same hold, secure, lockdown as well as schools. That way, if those events do come up, we are not tripping over language, and so we're all on the same page. And then every single adult that is on site is going to be fingerprinted and background checked before they're able to come out onto site. And then last but certainly not least, the buddy and truddy system. Your student will never be alone with one of our staff members, a teacher, or a student leader. There will always be at least 2 sixth graders within that group to make sure that everybody has like a buddy, an accountability buddy, and then just so we can avoid some sticky situations. Well, sticking with safety, all of our staff members are first aid, CPR, and EpiPen trained before they're coming out onto site. Once again, they're fingerprinted and background checked before they're able to start learning our curriculum and doing all of those good things. And then for the student leaders, since they are not 18 legally, we cannot background check them. So we do have them jump through a lot of hoops to be able to come out to be on site with your student. First, they do have to come to one of our in-town trainings, which is about 2.5 to 3 hours long. Once they pass through that hoop, then they get to go back to their school and talk to every single one of their teachers. After they talk to all of their teachers, then they get to go to the administrators and get signed off from a principal. Once all of those adults in their lives, plus their parents, sign off on this person being able to go, then they are scheduled a week and are sent out to one of our sites. They do arrive the day before your students, so they are training from Monday at 7 a.m. through Tuesday at around 11 a.m. because that's when your students will arrive ish. So we get our in-town training staff gets eyes on them, all of their teachers, their administrators, and then their parents, and then our on-site staff. So that's 5 different groups of people that have eyes on these students before they ever see your students. Cool. And this is a QR code for if you have a sophomore, junior, or senior that you think this would be a good opportunity for. They can sign up and go, jump through all those hoops, then go out and be on site with your 6th grader. The student leaders do get the benefit of earning 100 hours of volunteer service, 3 college credits, plus a lot of schools offer half an elective credit for this trip. And our staff are more than willing to be references on job applications. So this is part of the packing list. On this packing list, I just want to highlight a couple of things, mostly on this page being the camera. The cameras, if you are sending them, please make sure that the students know how to turn off the flash. And then also just keep in mind, the students will be responsible for carrying and handling all of the equipment. So I would highly recommend not sending, the $1,000 cameras that you might use while back at home. And then for general like packing and size of bags, most students bring 2 bags, and I like to imagine it kind of like you're flying. So you have your check bag and your carry-on bag around those sizes for them, just making sure your students are able to carry it, because yes, our staff are more than willing to help out carrying the bags from the buses to the cabins. But if we have to do that for all 125 students, it takes a long time. Also putting the luggage in trash bags also helps because it is the Oregon coast. We can never guarantee it's going to be dry, so making sure that the bedding doesn't get wet, all that good stuff. And then on this side, I do want to point out socks. You can never have enough socks. I know it says 4 to 6, but if you could send 12, that's great. As many socks as can fit in their pockets or any free space that you find. And then for the sleeping gear, the sleeping bag is wonderful. That and a pillow, maybe an extra blanket, and your student should be good to go. But with this, once again, if you see something on here that you do not have, please do not go out and buy it. Just send us an email and we can coordinate to make sure your student has access to it during their week. So for the things to leave at home, starting from the bottom, food and candy, there is 3 meals a day plus snack. So we try our best to keep, the combination of hungry students and the force as far away from each other as we can, because that would cause issues. So we do feed students. We'll talk more about meals a little bit later. But money, the only thing to do with money is lose it. Please do not send money. MP3, iPod, gaming system, smartwatch, those are all technology that we're trying to rip them away from, to put them outside with their classmates in this wonderful environment so they can actually bond with each other without a screen in their face. And then the big ticket item, the cell phone. Just because they will not have their cell phone doesn't mean you will not be able to contact them. You can reach out through the phone number listed in the slideshow on our website. You can reach out to me and I can connect you guys. But also you could reach out to your teachers through your normal avenues and email them, and to kind of get maybe those like daily updates. Accommodation and inclusion. This is kind of what we hang our hat on as an organization. So if there's anything you've heard about outdoor school in the past or here in this slideshow that makes you a little uncomfortable, please let it be a conversation with me so we can talk about the things that we are able to adjust or have already adjusted and have in place for more people to be able to access outdoor school. One of the big things on here is the day students. We love to have day students if that overnight aspect is just simply too much. That does require a lot of work from the parents, because you could drop them off whenever is convenient for you and pick them up whenever is convenient for you. We do ask that you just let us know that is your plan. But yeah, day students are more than welcome. So for the students, what it actually looks like when they get out onto site, they're going to be greeted by the staff and student leaders all singing them in. They will get off of the bus, go on a quick tour, and then immediately into lunch. So during that time, the staff and some staff members stay back and help move all the luggage into a covered area. So the students are going to be oh, my light went off. So the students are going to be picking it up from there so the bus can get back home. But yeah, it is a very quick go, go, go as soon as they are off of that bus and ready to rock. And once they are settled and the day is going, and throughout the whole week, honestly, field study is a fun experience for these students. It is 4 different sessions of 2.5 to like 3 hours long, where they are out in the environment learning all that we can teach them. The first couple lessons are our staff members teaching them everything they know, maybe going down to the lake, going on hikes, going near the coast, and having all those fun times learning everything that we can teach. And then the second half is we turn over the keys to the students. So the students end up becoming the experts. They get to come up with a testable question. And with that testable question and their small group, they go out and test said question. And then on the final days, they are presenting that information in any way they want. They are able to present it in like a poster board or, a skit or a song, however they choose. It's usually a lot of fun because the students who have put so much time and effort into this project, and that at the core, it is something that they wanted to learn about. The projects end up turning out really cool to see, just like how excited and how creative they can be with it. It is not a free ride, though, for the 6th graders. They still will have chores. These niches are broken up by cabin groups, and a cabin group usually only has one of these throughout the week. They are not doing all of these all the time. But at the end of the day, I believe they're pretty simple. Table toppers, they get to put down napkins and forks and cups, and then they're done. Kitchen party, they help move the dirty dishes from the tables to the kitchen, and then wipe down tables and sweep, and they are done. And then another big ticket item, scrub club. They get to clean the bathrooms. Tons of fun, obviously, but they get gloves, they pick up paper towels, wipe down counters and sweep, and then they are done. We never ask or require 6th graders to clean toilets. That is strictly reserved for the staff members to handle the toilet side of things. And then cabin time. Cabin groups themselves are going to be constructed by the teachers. But for what this actually looks like in practice, realistically, we use it a lot as like a pit stop, in between activities to make sure they can change out of those wet socks into dry ones, get more layers on, shed a few layers, whatever they may need. But a lot of students like to play games maybe in their cabin. They can lay down for the first time, or they can go outside of their cabin and hang out with other cabin groups. Cabin spaces are considered semi-private spaces, so only the people who are sleeping in there are allowed in their cabins, and there is no nudity at all allowed in the cabins. We do have a tall changing tent that the students can use, but realistically, most of them just go down to the bathhouse in the morning to change in a private stall there, and then also change in the bathhouse at night with all private stalls. But yeah, if you are considering sending like board games or cards or like sports equipment, all that good stuff, you could, but we do have a lot of that on site. And if you are sending it, just keep in mind it will be in a cabin with just a bunch of other sixth graders. So who knows what happens to that one small piece of the puzzle or one small piece from like a board game, and you might never see it again. So fair warning, you totally can, but I wouldn't. And then recreation. This is the one and only time the student leaders get a break. But for these sixth graders, this is just basically recess. So the staff members will give them a bunch of options, maybe like gaga ball, basketball, soccer, going on a hike, daisy chains, board games in the dining hall, whatever they can think of and whatever they think the students are going to be into is usually offered. But the big one is the beach, just hanging out down at the beach. 98% of the students always choose that one. It is really fun to see. Oh, and I do want to mention, I forgot to do it earlier, that yes, I mentioned the lake and the beach. We never go swimming at outdoor school. That is a terrifying thought, to have that many students just like in the ocean or in the lake. So yeah, we avoid that in entirety. The most they will ever get wet is going to be like with the tall water boots that we provide. They can get up to their ankles in the lake while they're doing critter catch. But yeah, no swimming at outdoor school. It might break a couple people's hearts, but I would rather do that than, see a bunch of kids off in the ocean, because it's so terrifying. Campfire. Campfire is something that happens at the end of every single night, and the students have the opportunity, if they want to, sign up to perform in front of the entire camp. They can do a song maybe they learned at home. They can do a song that they learned at site. They can do magic trick, stunts if they're not too dangerous. Whatever they have in their back pocket, they are allowed to do either by themselves or with a group that of their choosing. And just, yeah, it's personally my favorite part of all of site, of all of camp, just because it is where I see the most growth in students. Tuesday, there's hardly ever any sixth graders that get up onto stage. And then come Thursday, there are some that are like demanding that they get this opportunity because they've been working on this and really want to perform in front of people. I just really like to see the students that are usually, more quiet at the beginning of the week, or the teachers tell me that they're super quiet in the classroom, and then they come here and now they're singing in front of 120 people about a crazy chicken. And it's just, it's really cool to see the growth and the excitement that they have for it all. So this is a sample schedule, not the schedule, but it just gives you an idea of how packed everything is. We have the 7 a.m. wake up, which is a staple of outdoor school. And if you notice, from that wake up to breakfast, the only thing they are doing is going to the bathroom. Maybe if their cabin has table toppers, they'll do that. And then they have breakfast. We do need that full hour. They are usually pretty slow movers in the morning. And then the other part is that 9:15 bedtime. Even if that is a little early for what they're used to, I can guarantee they will be ready for bed at that time, because all day long they've been all surrounded by other sixth graders and moving and learning and having all this fun throughout the day. Excuse me. Bedtime is usually really pretty simple. They brush their teeth and then off to bed they go. And then 3 meals a day plus snack. The food, like I said, we'll come back to this. So this is a very short list of common allergies that we have history with. If you see one that fits for you or you don't see one, either way, if you want more information about like the processes that our kitchen uses to to ensure a clean workspace, and like even the menu that we have, please reach out and we can go through all of that. The one I do want to highlight is picky, because I believe that is an allergy. If you have a student who will only eat 2 to 3, maybe like, I don't know, 4 things in total, please let us know those 4 things ahead of time so we can make sure that we have a game plan so they can be able to like not go hungry while out on site. Again, we have example menus on our website right now, but if you send me an email, I can give you the menu for your week. And paperwork. So this is the health form / permission slip that we need from all of the families. Even if you decide that you are not sending your student, it's still very helpful just to fill out that top portion, so where we can see why not, and hopefully we are able to improve in the future for more students to be able to come. And on the back side here, there is a small box listed with all of the over-the-counter medications that we have on site. And underneath is a permission slip saying that you want us to be able to administer medications, you don't want us to, all that good stuff. We do need that signature either way. But yeah, if you see something in that box of medications and you're just like, oh, well, my student does better with a liquid form or a gummy form, please send it. We want whatever works best for your students so they are going to have a good time out on site. You will just need to fill it in that top portion. It does help if you include dosage amount and timing for those things, or just like as needed. But yeah, just to help out our nurses for that. When it comes to prescription medication, the doctor's note is on that bottle, so we will need the original container. And we do ask that you only send the amount that your student will need during their week. That way, our nurses don't have to hand count as much in and hand count as much out. I will say that prescription, whatever is on that prescription will happen. Please make sure to double check to make sure that is actually what you want to happen. Under no circumstances can we take, like a pill divider or a baggie of just medication, because all of it will be held onto by our nurses and distributed by them. And then over-the-counter medication, we kind of talked about it earlier. If you are sending it, just list it on that page and we are good to go. The only hiccup with that could be the medication that it might have a label saying for students 13 and over, and you have an 11 or 12-year-old. That is the only situation where we would need a doctor's note for over-the-counter medication. Other than that, you just fill it out on that sheet and we're ready to rock. And then, so for vitamins and supplements, this is the biggest hurdle when it comes to outdoor school medication on the medication side. Because it is not FDA approved, we do need a doctor's note for melatonin, lactate, multivitamins. All of that stuff will require a doctor's note. Yeah, we cannot give that out without it. So please make sure if you think your student is going to need any of those during their week, you obtain that doctor's note and attach it with them, or you could send it to me and I'll forward it to the site nurse, whatever. Yeah, we can take electronic signatures. We will need permission from a doctor. Cool. And then the last piece of paperwork from our side of things, the religious and cultural observance form is going to be like if you want them to participate in any religious norms or cultural norms while out on site. We do ask that you treat this as a how-to list. That way our EIAs are able to take it, be like, cool, do this, then this. And that is exactly what the families want, and we will make that happen. And then the other accommodations form. This is the most direct line of communication between you and the site staff. If you have any concerns, like potentially like homesickness, please let us know, and also let us know things that can help them in that moment, because we do look over all of these forms. So if it's like, oh, the student's homesick, well, they like to talk about Minecraft, they like to talk about sports, whatever it may be, let us know. You could also include stuff like, oh, my student doesn't get along with this student. Cool, wonderful. It is so much easier for us to keep students separated all week than it is to find out why they don't like each other while out on site. So yeah, students will never see these forms, so you could write as much as you want and be as blunt as you want, and it will be good. It is classified information. And then for hygiene and showering, they will brush their teeth every single morning and every single night. And then for the showers, they technically only get one shower per their time there. With that being said, if they were to like fall into a puddle of mud or, like wet the bed, we will offer them another shower. We do care about their health. It's just a general rule that everybody is only offered one. But I will add to that we cannot legally force them to shower. So sometimes they decide not to and they come home a little extra stinky, and I'm sorry. They they have a will of their own, and that's usually where it gets pretty stubborn, but it is what it is. And then for the visitor policy, I like to phrase it that it's very similar to school. If you wanted to come and pick up your child at any time, sure, cool, go for it. We do appreciate a phone call so they can be packed and ready to go. But if you wanted to show up to school and just like, go in all of the classrooms, hang out and like do whatever, you would need a background check and permission from the school. And we are the same way. If you don't do that and are just picking up or dropping off your child, you usually just have to stay in the car. You'll sign them in, sign them out. You're good to go. But yeah, if you wanted to come onto site and just like walk around, you would need a background check and permission from your school. If you are interested in that route, the only reasons we typically allow that to happen is for medical reasons or to match a one-on-one aid that they have at school that the school cannot provide while out on site. So if you are interested in this, please make sure you're contacting your administrator. Like a principal would be great, because then the principal and you will come up with a game plan, and then they'll notify us about the game plan. We'll send you the forms for the background check and all that good stuff. You are not going to Cedar Ridge, Trickle Creek, Arawana, Meriwether. There we go. Magruder. This is the phone number for when your student is on site. Please do not call this number ahead of time, because nobody will be on site. It is exclusively for when your student is there on site. If you have any outdoor school questions, please use my contact information until your student is on site. But yeah. These are a short list of things that I unfortunately cannot help answer. So you will have to reach out to the school. Cabin groups, exactly which students are in which one. Drop off and pick up, what does that look like at the school? Medication check-in and check-out at the school, what does that look like? And I can help with what site they'll go to. That is going to be Magruder. But yeah, that is for those schools that take up like 3 separate sites all for themselves. And it's like, yeah, they are massive. Cool. And that is the presentation. This is typically where I do Q&A, but can't do that right now. So thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to either me or my assistant principal. Yeah, thank you.